wife did too.
You ready, Mr. White? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order of Nelson County Fiscal Court, Tuesday, August 16th, 2022. Thank everybody for coming here and stuff like that. Appreciate it. Glad everybody's here, up safe. First agenda item is the minutes of the last meeting. Anybody have any concerns with them?
None noted. I make a motion to accept.
Keith makes a motion to accept them.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes of the last meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Bills and transfers?
Hold on, you got another set of minutes.
Okay. Oh, the special one too. All right, then we also had a July 26th special meeting before I was here. So can we have a motion to approve those by Gary?
Motion.
Second by Eric. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes of that meeting are approved.
Eric, you second.
I do.
Thank you.
Bills and transfers. Anybody have any questions for Rhonda? Anything they want to ask? Vernon makes the motion, we accept them. Jeff will second it. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
I see they got the jail locks on here. Did they get that done, Buck?
Yes.
All the locks that were faulty are installed, squared away. You satisfied with them?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good deal, good deal.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Next is I'd like to nominate Robert Cecil to be appointed to the North Nelson Water District Board for a term in accordance. He'll be filling out my unexpired term, since I had to resign from North Nelson the minute I came in here too. So would someone make a motion to appoint him, please?
I think Rob would be great.
I think so. And he's in your district, so you'll make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
Gary, you'll second it?
Yes.
Is there any discussion? All in favor of putting Robert Cecil on the North Nelson Water District Board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved. Thank you all. I think you'll do a great job.
I do too.
We have the Conservation District's 2021 Annual Financial Report that was sent out to you all.
This is a matter of record, correct?
I think so. So all we have to do, anybody have any questions or anything? If not, we just have read it into the record. I don't think we need a motion, do we? No. Okay, thank you all. Road Department report.
Okay.
Lee?
We patched asphalt on a section of Old Henpeck Road, or Old Henpeck Lane. We patched 4 sections of Greens Chapel Road. We repaired a damaged gravel section of Ma Cooksey Lane. The damage was caused by a culvert washout from those torrential rains we had a couple weeks ago. I failed to put on the report that we did patch a couple of areas of Icetown Road, and today we're working on a Patton Road. There's a section that we're patching there. We installed a drainage system at Millwood Way, extended the culvert on Old Henpeck Road, replaced an entrance culvert on Dugan Lane, and we cleaned the culverts on Quarry Loop and Thornsbury Loop. We repaired shoulders on Woodlawn Road by the bridge near Tom Greer Road, and we continue to work on spraying operations to try to control the brush and weeds that's encroaching on our roadways. We sprayed on Murray's Run Road, Woodlawn Road, and we also trimmed trees on Peabody Loop and Stoner Road. And we've had complaints about some limbs hitting some trucks out there. So if you get any complaints from residents out there, that's why we're out there, because we had to clear those limbs and make it safe for our motors. And our mowers are currently in District 2 on the 3rd round. That's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for Lee?
I just tell you, y'all did a great job. I had a lot of people bragging about Han Ridge. I think that y'all's group is doing fine, a fantastic job, and my folks really appreciate it.
Thank you. So you guys know real quick, Hilton Lane and Caney Fork Bridges, we're going to open those on August 26th. I'll bring that back to the court for you guys to review. Both of them are within our budget. One we getting a grant for, the other one we're funding ourselves. So we'll see how those bids come in yet. Mago is really starting to pave, and they're hitting some of us. I'm going to give you a list of some of the ones they got. Highland Avenue, Buttermilk, Water Tower Loop, High Pine Court. And then they got, let's see, Chesapeake Trail, West Sandstone Court, East Sandstone Court, West Milestone Court. East Milestone, it's all Stonehouse Flats is where it is, Jeff. They've gotten all of that. North Howard, Gary, Kennedy, and Woodlawn Springs. So they continue, just depends on where they're at for the state, and a lot of times they'll have, you guys know how it works. If they got a couple days extra, they'll come do our work, and then they'll get back on the state work, so. They're paving Boston Road today, Bernard. I don't know if you saw that, but.
That's on the side though.
Yeah,
What
so,
about Woodlawn?
that's still on the list, they just ain't got to it yet.
Okay.
But all the POs have been issued, they just haven't got to it yet. Just giving you a heads up on that. That's it.
Anything else from the road department? Jailer, jail report?
As of this morning, we have 114 inmates, 47 are state, 67 are county, 54 are waiting on circuit court cases, 13 are waiting on district court cases, total of 88 males and 26 females. And that's all for right now.
Anybody got any questions for Bud? Thank you. EMS report, Eva?
Yes, I'm reporting for Joe, who's out today. This will be the first report for the first fiscal of this fiscal year. We had 753 calls for the month of July, and there was 185 of those were non-transports, with 26 of those calls being lift assist only. Okay? End of my report. You got any questions?
Thank you very much. Landfill, solid waste?
So I sent an email out yesterday about our high lift. It has about 12,000 hours on it, which the undercarriage is wore out, which those typically last around 6,000 hours. So we got it new, put one about 6,000. We're about 12,000 hours right now. The cost to do that, so we got two prices to get that done. For Boyd Cat, and this is just parts, we're gonna put it on ourselves. It'd be 24,506. We got a price from Brandeis for 24,800. So it's one of those.
Just for parts.
Just for parts.
How long does it take to repair?
We're thinking if we could get our parts in, they're thinking they can get here Thursday, it would take about 4 days, 3 to 4 days to put on.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Lot of
For $900, they're put like base or the chain to put the pads on. So all we have to do is put it on, replace the rollers, and then put the bolts in to connect it. So it'd be well worth that $900 to do that. But
So my question, John, and we still don't have an answer, is, well, when's our new one showing up? We don't know. They don't know. Caterpillar has not issued what they call the order yet. Accepted order, that's what they told us yesterday. So we're still in line to get one. We don't know when it's gonna come.
John, is the two bids, the parts availability is the same, or one faster than the other? Or?
Boyd Cat's the faster, and it's basically the original heavy-duty cat parts for the cat. So that's what I would recommend getting.
The
We can get
other
those
one was like,
Thursday. Aftermarket parts.
Aftermarket ones.
Mhm.
It was higher and theoretically maybe not the same standard.
Yeah. Which it was right. They were both identical, basically the price. Just the cat was actually just a little bit $300 cheaper.
Yeah. You need a motion?
Please.
Like a motion to.
I'll make a motion to go with the Boyd parts.
Second. 2 seconds. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the bid to replace the high lift, say aye. Any opposed? Motion's approved. Continue,
That's all I
Mr.
had.
You sure?
That's all I got.
You had them in a good mood, you might want to keep talking.
Let's move forward.
Thank you.
Every court meeting, John wants something.
Well,
We've had a bad spell of equipment stuff breaking down lately. We had the backhoe there pushing garbage yesterday, but had a belt broken on the compactor. It's been one of those months, but we're keep on keeping on.
All right, recreation report?
Here lately, been working on getting the fields ready for soccer and baseball. We'll be starting up in about 2 weeks. Been dealing with Brad in Salt River on the gate, getting electric to it. I think we got that worked out. We also trying to set a date to demo field 4 and convert it to a softball field. And we're hoping to do it maybe in a few weeks. And Keith and Wendell helped me out big time out Culvertown, getting some new electric to the building out there for the park. And I got to install some backboards out at Balltown here in the next day or two.
Those come in yesterday, Keith. Did it? Yeah, we got them at our shop.
Well, thank you.
When Derek talks about demoing field 4, what that is to help the girls softball, so that now we can play softball or baseball on that field, and they'll have lights.
Perfect.
And then we'll move some games up to what's called field 6. It's the field that was the softball field. So it was an out-of-the-box way of thinking of how to accommodate and get the girls where they can play under lights sometimes as well.
And not to spend $80,000 or such to put the lights.
80, probably 200.
200,000?
For lights,
Really?
probably.
That was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it means it's expensive, but this is a good alternate
Oh,
to see if we
absolutely.
can make it work, and
Yeah.
we'll try it and see how it goes.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for that.
That's what, nice solution there, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think.
So it'll take some coordinating.
Yeah, that's. All right, anybody have any questions on the recreation report? All right, the email you all got from Rhonda yesterday, and she's here. Evidently, the state entered some information into their software wrong. If I speak wrong, you tell me. It's basically dealing, growth from last year it's not supposed to go into it. You get to do that. They entered about $28 million, almost $29 million too much into the equation. So that's why, and then they caught it. So it's better they caught it before we went ahead and had the tax hearings and everything. But now we need to discuss, instead of the compensating rate being 3.1, it would now be 3.2, and the 4% rate increase, which is currently 13.9, you all previously approved 13.6, needs to go to 13.7. So the recommendation is that we take the 4% rate increase, and we still will be reducing taxes. The county will be getting more revenue, which we need because of the growth with the inflation and everything, but we are in effect lowering everybody's property taxes.
So basically, at 28 million, 25, as Rhonda explained, is for the new construction,
Right.
and actually it's just 3 million off of.
Everything
Yeah,
else and
yeah.
stuff, and it's, unfortunately, we'll have to, if we approve that today, the first advertisement for public hearing will be in the Sunday, August 21st. The second reading will be in the Sunday, August 28th version of the Kentucky Standard. We will have a public hearing at our first fiscal meeting on September 6th. She will advertise once again on Sunday 11th, and then we will have the second reading on September 20th. So we are still well within our window to do everything. It should not affect the property taxes going out, should not affect the sheriff's department for collecting it. It's unfortunate that they made a mistake, but those things happen all the time. The good thing is the county's grown. There's probably a lot of eastern Kentucky counties that are seeing their tax rolls go back and even hold the same. They've got to raise rates or do worse and stuff like that. So I've about told you all I know. If you got any questions, please direct them to Rhonda.
Well, the bottom line is we are still lowering the rate from 13.9 to 13.7.
So let me ask you this, that $29 million that they factored in this year, that'll be calculated in the next fiscal year?
Correct.
Got it.
That'll go into the, next year's rate calculation.
Okay.
I can't explain what happened. I was just notified last week from the Department of Revenue that the assessments were overstated based on what they had computed.
Thank you.
That 29 will be taxed this year. It just doesn't go in the figure that figures the tax. It'll go in for next year. So it's not like $29 million is not being taxed.
Right.
It is being taxed, but in figuring the tax rate, it will go into next year and stuff like that and stuff. So it's and computer software is going up and down, and we're gonna blame the state one way or the other. So it's
gotta be their fault.
It's gotta be their fault. So I mean, we did the same thing we always did and stuff like that. So
Just to be clear, the compensating rate is roughly the same amount of revenue.
that we accumulated this year.
The actual amount of revenue that we collected.
Yes, sir.
Right? Excluding new growth.
Correct.
Right, so you don't count the new growth in it. Now, next year, it's based on actuals, I believe, right? And then you get a 4%, you can go the same amount of revenue or up to 4% without.
4%, they can't have a vote on it. But we have to have 2 tax hearings, and everybody's willing to express their displeasure or pleasure with what we all do.
I think there's a lot of confusion on the excluding new growth. I know it has been throughout, there's a lot of people that.
Well, it's just that we're having a lot of growth, and, you know, a lot of it is the bourbon warehouses. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of growth. I mean, we're getting growth everywhere, but no one's getting the bourbon warehouse growth that we're getting and stuff like that. So it's just, you know, residential's growing some. I know Jan was saying the other day, she's got a lot of permits coming in and stuff like that.
We did 60 last week.
So like to say, she did 60, which is, you know, if you annualize that, that'd be a whole lot of them.
For residential,
Not all residential, but 60 total in 5 days. It's,
how many of them you think was residential, just a guess?
Probably half.
Probably half.
Most of half was in District 2 also.
I make a motion that we approve the 13.7% tax rate and advertise for the public
As
hearing.
the schedule.
That's good.
I'll second. You got it, go ahead.
Carrie seconds. Is there any more discussion? All in favor of approving the 13.7 as our rate, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. I don't think I have any old or new more business. It would come up that I'd have to change the tax rate in my second meeting, but that's all right. Still got the decreased rates. Yes, sir.
Randy, you got anything
Sure.
to discuss with us? I sent you guys an email. The DEA is asking for one of our narcotics detectives to be assigned to them as a TFO. But I would not leave our narcotics detective for the task force by himself. I'm having possibly 1 leave and 2 retirements in January. I would be asking fiscal court to allow a hire to replace that body early and allow me to move somebody within the office to the narcotics Greater Harton task force to pair up with our detective and then be able to move the other guy to the DEA. They've been working several cases locally. They love working with him. He's very active with them, and just.
Is he out of your payroll or?
It would be fiscal court. That's why I came to you guys.
So you're gonna have to replace him?
I would not want it. That was my biggest gripe when he was there by himself, to add a second body to the Great and Harbin County Task Force. And I wouldn't be doing him or his partner any justice by pulling him and leaving him by himself. So
Which time frame is it, are they asking for?
right now, we're working, I don't want to put stuff out, you know what I'm saying, but.
And they are funding him?
So we would pay his salary, and they pay up to $19,800 in his overtime, just like the Hardin County Task Force.
They pay up to what now?
$19,800. It's a HIDA grant that DEA
But the
gets.
fiscal court pays his payroll.
Salary, correct.
Regular salary and then any overtime, they pay up to
Correct.
$19,000.
It's by HIDA. So Nelson County is a HIDA county, so we get reimbursed for the 2 guys on the task force for their overtime. Okay? This guy would go federally, and the feds would reimburse us on HIDA for his overtime.
How much overtime do they get?
They're only allowed to get $19,800. And once we top that out, he goes back to 40 hours. Unless you guys want to provide more overtime for him.
So what do you need from us?
Approval for hiring another body early for basically a retirement and allowing him to go to the DEA.
How long will he be with the DEA? As long as he wants to, or is it?
It's usually about a 2-year contract with them. But they've been, you know, we had one with the FBI, full-time. He's back with us on my command staff, and he's part-time with them. So I think the feds are pretty much willing to work with us. We have a lot of cases here that are getting attention and both sides, with the FBI and the DEA.
So basically, we're just adding one more deputy? to
Correct.
Payroll, correct?
Correct.
After the contract's up, does that officer come back into your?
Yes.
Back to us?
Yes. Not only that, the beneficial part with the DEA is any seized money, we get a cut.
Right, but basically, this would just be a preemptive hire for a retiree.
Correct.
And so that once he
Yeah.
retired, it would just be all in the wash, so you need
One other question, the ones that are retiring, they are on fiscal court too,
I believe both of them are, Mike Watts and Dennis Wells.
well, I don't see any way we can't do it now.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, unless you're making that concern, I'll make a motion to allow the hiring.
Yep.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Jeff and a second by Aaron. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Does anybody have anything else they'd like to bring forward? Yes, ma'am?
Can I announce we're, planning and zoning is going to have candidate training, we've done that in the past. So we're having 6 one-hour lunchtime learning series over the next 6 weeks, starting next Wednesday. So if you're interested in learning about all planning and zoning, it'll take 6 hours just to get through the basics. So we'll let you know by email when those dates are. They'll be held here, and it'll be a brown bag series, so.
Thank you. Anything else?
To adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Jeff, second by Bernard. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for attending today.